Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that I believe is a very important topic. The main reason why I think this is an important topic is because I believe a lot of powerlifters make a mistake with their brace or their bracing pattern, and it leads to a lot of issues like cutting their squats really high, or in order for them to hit depth, they need to butt wink. So two big things could be hindering their squat progress. Not the most optimal technique, but it all starts with their brace. So that's why I feel like this is an important video to talk about first. I've been doing this technique series probably for like a few weeks now. The last video that I posted was specifically about bulldog grip on bench press. So if you guys have not checked that out, make sure to watch the last video and then come back to this. A lot of you guys have asked me to talk about different topics, especially my Discord server. You guys have been asking me a lot of different suggestions to make for my YouTube content, and I appreciate you guys a lot. So if you guys are not in the Discord server, the description is going to have the invite link. It's open to everyone. I'm trying to build a community of beginner or newer powerlifters to kind of like help each other make progress and meet some new people, because obviously when you're new to a sport, you don't really know anyone, and being surrounded by people in the same position as you is kind of reassuring. And I interact with everyone in my Discord server too. I've been trying to give advice for all three of the lifts, giving advice for nutrition or dieting, also just like hanging out and talking to you guys. I love getting to know the type of people that follow me and enjoy my content. So if you're interested in joining the Discord server, make sure to click on the link below. Without further ado, we can get started with this video. I'm actually squatting today also, so I'm gonna be talking to you as I'm doing my sets. But the first thing I do wanna talk about with you guys is the mistake that these powerlifters are making. And I can speak from experience because when I first started powerlifting, when I didn't understand how to do this correctly, I was making a lot of issues by squatting really high. I was making this issue and I had to butt wink or like kind of dunk in order to hit depth, and I didn't really have any proprioception with my obliques, with my rib cage positioning, stuff along those lines that I'll get a little bit more into later on in this video. So the first thing I want to talk about with your bracing is how I want you to use your belt. And the way that you want to do this, I'm so bloated right now, but whenever you inhale, like you don't want to kind of like chest breathe, you want to like kind of expand through your stomach. If you want to be a little more complex with this, your diaphragm is expanding and you're bracing into the belt and getting as much as you can out of your brace. I'm actually gonna put on my belt right now and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So let me show you a difference, guys. So let's show you guys like what like a chest brace looks like, or like a chest breath. So the traps are gonna like kind of like rise and shrug up, and you're not really expanding through your stomach or your diaphragm, and you're not getting the most out of your brace with that. On the contrary, what I'm asking you guys to do is kind of like not expand through the chest, expand through your stomach instead. And you're gonna feel like either your obliques, your lower back kind of just like expand like a balloon and press into the belt. And what this is gonna do is gonna protect your core, protect everything going on inside, and make you a lot stronger. So that's the biggest thing that I want you guys to kind of take away from the first part of this video, not chest breathing. So using the belt to your advantage, expanding through your stomach, and you're gonna feel everything around here. It's like, you wanna think of your core, your transverse abdominis like a wall. This wall is protecting everything going on inside, and it's getting you ready to do the lift that you're performing. So especially with the squat, it's the most important part of the setup. And I start by doing it on the unrack. So before I unrack the bar, deep brace. And by the time I get to my position with my stance, expand through my stomach again, and then I start my squat. So that's what I'm cueing, what I'm thinking when I am squatting. You're basically doing two braces for the walkout and then one for the actual rep itself, and then however many reps you decide to do for your set. So that's really important, guys. You're not just kind of like no tension, not even bracing on the unrack, and then just getting into it. Then you brace, like you're not gonna be ready for your actual rep. So but yeah, that's the first part of the video that I wanted to talk about. I'm actually gonna get started warming up for my sets, and then as this video progresses on and on, I'll add more feedback for the topic that we're talking about, which is the squat brace. And this part is gonna be talking about our rib cage orientation. So what I want you guys to think about, I'll show you guys the incorrect way that I'm talking about. So whenever you're bracing and you feel like you're extending or flaring your ribs out like this, that means that we're not doing it correctly. That means we're kind of gonna be flaring our rib cage out and like extending at our pelvis, and it's gonna lead to like looking like in this position, like kind of like sticking your ass out. And the issue that you run into with this, it's gonna feel like you're jammed once you get to the like kind of halfway closer to depth, like not really there, like borderline. And in order to hit depth, you're gonna have to like wink just like that in order to get to the bottom of a squat, or for powerlifting standards, like your hip crease below the top of your knee. There's a lot of issues that can happen with this, and these are the main two reasons why. You need to not really do that when you're bracing for a squat. Instead of doing that, what I want you guys to focus on, let me tuck in my shirt, look like a gym teacher. So instead of doing that, what I want you guys to focus on, instead of flaring right here at your rib cage, whenever you brace and expand through your stomach, like I mentioned in the last step, I want you to focus on keeping a neutral position with your rib cage, neutral position with your pelvis, and maintaining that the entire time. So like using your obliques, using your core, and maintaining this position the entire time, it's gonna help get you to the bottom of the squat wherever you wanna be. You're not gonna have that butt wink, because that's the one thing that you guys need to realize. Butt wink originates from that issue to begin with. Like if you're starting like this, like in an extended position, like 10 times out of 10, you're gonna have the butt wink to hit depth. Otherwise, if you're in a neutral position, there's no wink already because your pelvis is oriented in the way that it needs to hit depth. Hopefully that makes sense. Like I know it's a bit confusing using words like your pelvis, your orientation, like flaring, neutral. Like a lot of these things, like probably if you're newer to the sport, you have like no idea what I'm talking about. Like hopefully this demonstration, like showing you guys the difference from what isn't correct versus the position that is correct. Hopefully with the side angles that I show you guys today, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because personally, I think I'm a very proficient squatter. It's taken a lot of time for me to kind of find the technique that I'm looking for. And especially for the past like 2 or 3 years, have felt like my depth has been so consistent and very strong. My brace is very, very good. And for those of you guys that don't know me, I've had stomach surgery in like 2015, 2016 when I was younger, and my core was very weak at one point. So I had to learn how to brace properly. And then in 2021, I had a herniated disc injury that definitely fucked up my brace. It set me back a lot further from where I wanted to be. So a lot of time has been like really focusing on honing my brace and realizing the importance of the squat brace, because it can set the tone for the entire rep, for the entire set, for the entire workout. Like it literally just takes one fucked up rep to set you back a lot. And like I learned the hard way from that because I herniated my disc from a really shitty squat rep. So, yep, that's on the second cue, guys. So the first one is gonna be expanding through your stomach and using the belt the most that you can. The second cue that I told you guys about is with your rib cage positioning. So instead of having like a flared out rib cage and sticking your chest out like this, we're going to find a little bit more of a neutral position on the rib cage and on the pelvis. So both of these areas are gonna have to focus on finding a neutral, and that should help you hit depth a lot lower than what you're doing, not getting jammed, not experiencing that butt wink that I told you guys about before. Because a lot of you guys asked me about butt wink too. Like, how do I correct this? Is this safe? I can't answer that for you. I don't know if it's safe to lift like that. Personally, I used to lift like that too. And I mean, I got hurt. So speaking from experience, like it wasn't the safest thing for me to do. Like over time, I got stronger, yes, but I did get hurt with doing that or squatting and bracing like that. So knock on wood. But I think my brace, my squat tech is pretty clean and consistent. So I think this way is effective, but let me know what you guys think. Are you guys struggling with your squat mechanics? Do you feel like there's an area where you feel like you could improve in? Because a squat, like I said, is the most like technically dependent lift there is. Like it's literally, there's a weight on top of your fucking back and you're fighting for your life out of the hole. Like that's what a squat feels like, a heavy squat. And so much can go wrong with it. So for me, little rant time. It's the one lift that I feel like I've worked the hardest to improve, and I'm literally fighting for my fucking life for every single pound on my 1 rep max. I feel like every powerlifter has that one lift that they continue to struggle with the most, and like the other 2 lifts just feel so much easier to progress. For me, that's squatting. Like every time I get underneath the bar, it's like a mental block. It's like I'm overthinking a lot of things. It's just because it's the most frustrating lift to progress for me. But let me know. If you agree with me, let me know in the comment section, what's the one lift you feel like you struggle with the most? The one lift that you feel like you're fighting for every single pound for your 1 rep max. Oh, God, I love powerlifting. All right, let's get started. So the last cue I want to talk to you guys about before I end this video is kind of like what I want you to do like with the exhale. So when you release the brace, there are two ways to do this. So one, the first way is called Valsalva. You can kind of hold on to the brace the entirety of the way down and the entirety of the way up, and then let go once the rep is complete. Holy shit, hold on. What the fuck? I can't wait to get an ice bath. So that's the first way to exhale. Once the rep is complete, that's called Valsalva. I don't recommend that. It's a lot of pressure in your head, and I've seen some people pass out because of it, so not the one I recommend. The second one that I want you guys to think about doing at least is maintaining the brace the entirety of the way down, and then once you get out of the hole, you're holding for a little bit, and then probably once you shoot out of the hole, that's when you start like exhaling through your mouth. So you probably hear people go like sss when they're exhaling. They're exhaling all through their mouth like that at a consistent rate. Holy fuck, I can't exhale right now. I can't breathe. Damn it. You can literally hear in my mic when I'm exhaling out of the hole. It literally just sounds like a sss, like I'm a conductor. Sss, out of the hole like a consistent rate. So that's the way that I exhale. I maintain my pressure in my core with my brace the entirety of the way down, and I make sure I don't release it too early. That's the thing I want you guys to get out of this. If you kind of like release your brace once you hit the bottom of the hole, you're just gonna fucking crash at the bottom, lose all tension, all pressure, lose all positioning, and then just fold and crumble. So that's what I don't want to happen to you guys. This is a quick banger YouTube video today. Was all about the squat brace. What I want you guys to think about when you're bracing before you even squat, before you even unrack the bar, because it can literally transform your squat. It can improve it a lot, especially when you're newer and you're a beginner powerlifter. If you're more intentional with your brace, with your core, you're gonna feel a lot stronger in your lifts. Last thing I wanna add in, guys, if you guys are interested in working directly with me for personalized one-on-one powerlifting coaching, fill out the application in the description. I'm looking to work with powerlifters of every single experience level, even if you're a beginner. If you've never done this sport before, I'd love to guide you into your first meet. So link will be in the description. Let me know who your favorite sports team is in the comment section, and then I'll know that you're a real fan and you watched all the way to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching another YouTube video. See you guys in the next one.